So I took this day trade on GBPJPY, and this is one of the toughest videos I have to make so far because this was such an awful trade, man. It was such yeah, ultimately what caused me to take this trade was just split focus. I had 3 pairs open. I was like having EU there in the first third. I'm gonna put the split screen on just to see just to show what I mean. I had basically EU here, GEO here, and all were shaping up nice setups, and GBPJPY I had open too. And while the majors didn't really give a setup, I was expecting one, but it didn't come. I was kind of, with my split focus, jumping the gun here completely on British Pound JPY, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So first, the analysis of the trade was basically that we had a nice break of structure here, momentum switch, and we swept Asia low as inducement. So this was meant to be a daily cycle play. We sweep Asia to then come higher. Obviously it wasn't a complete, it was a complete bullshit trade, but it was not just completely random. I had my reasons. I just forgot to completely give any regard about the high time frame. So yeah, from a low time frame perspective, it was a daily cycle play. We break above the structure, we make a big imbalance, we have the momentum flip, and we get on the m5 to take this higher. Okay, so I thought also that this swept, okay, this swept, but only a midline London level. So I thought, okay, this is a nice smart money trap here that is going to be targeted. But the first mistake is already we swept the smart money trap. So now the market has all the liquidity potentially to come lower. Okay, that is the first thing. The second thing is when we zoom out here, and normally I start the analysis on the high time frame, right? You are used to this from my videos. And here I completely disregarded that, or I was just too, I had a lack of focus, let's say it like that, complete lack of focus. And look how high we are up on the high time frame. So I usually never buy when we are so high up. Like for me, buys are not even on the table when the 4-hour looks like that. And you see how much fair value gaps we have here. So this is just bad, just bad. Also, we have this liquidity, this inducement target here. So that was something that price could come for, and this is beyond my stop loss, so this is not good. And also, look what the high time frame did. We swept this structure, this 4-hour structure point, okay? Then we swept this 4-hour structure point. And here another wick on the 4 hours. So we swept so much buy-side liquidity. The market is obviously going to look for sell-side liquidity. And the first pool is huge 4-hour fair value gap under this imbalance, okay? This demand looks like a trap. Of course, it can work out with the daily cycle, but it's just not likely enough to work because we are just so high up on the high time frame. I'm buying in complete premium, high premium actually of the 4-hour leg, and it's just weak. It's not good enough. If this is my entry criteria, I'm telling you, I can buy or sell every single day, probably more than once, and yeah, would have an incredibly low win rate. So this was just split focus. I learned my lesson for sure. I'm just gonna put EU, GEO next to each other for divergence, and or only GJ. So whatever I think looks best, I focus on that, and just put more time again into high time frame analysis, which I normally do. I don't know what yesterday was wrong with me, man. I was so trigger happy. I was like, oh yeah, okay, looks good, let's take it. But yeah, I'm just a human, man. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not gonna beat myself up for it too much, but it's just sometimes you have to make the occasional mistake to stay sharp, I guess, or to get sharp again. So let's go through the trade. So this trade almost stopped me out right away. One thing I forgot to say, after 1 minute I was in, I realized that I'm buying super high, and I was basically, sometimes I take bad trades, okay? I'm just a human. Sometimes I feel like when I get in and I get that strange feeling, this is when I normally realize that it's probably a bad trade, when you get that funny feeling, okay? And what I sometimes or mostly did in the past was just trying to get out right away and have a stupid break even, basically. But this time I thought, no, okay, I had this stupid impulse. Now I'm gonna take responsibility for it. I'm not gonna manage it at all. I'm either right and I'm lucky this time, or I'm wrong and I took the completely deserved stupid loss. Okay, so this coming down, I accepted the loss, and I didn't look to come out, get out break even, just hands off and just take responsibility for the bad decision. And funny enough, the trade actually came back into profit, then came back to stop loss, and yeah, actually went more into profit, and then ultimately, with a lot of luck, it worked out. So my position tool is wrong here. It's too short, actually. So it took forever, and ultimately my TP here was hit. And yeah, I'm so not proud of this trade. This is so, yeah, tough for me to upload. But yeah, in the end, I'm just a human. This was a stupid mistake, but it brought the adjustments that it needed to bring. And this time, yeah, I got lucky and I got saved. It's like in any sports, right? If you take a bad shot in basketball and it goes in, nobody asks questions, but you should, you know? You're supposed to take good shots and good trades. And yeah, definitely learned my lesson here. Obviously, I'm grateful that I got a lucky profit, but I really would have deserved to just lose that. But yeah, guys, that is all I have to say. High time frame is absolutely key. It's my bread and butter. And yeah, learn from this one, and I'm not gonna do that again. So thank you for your attention, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.